everyone. Thank you all so much for joining Niloufar and myself as we are going to talk a little about her piece Vision off of my upcoming debut album Delta Waves. So, huge thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I am very happy to be part of your great project, Delta Waves, and your recent performances of my work in different places. It's been a great opportunity. Thank you, Drew.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been fantastic playing this piece. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous piece. It really showcases, I think, just the range of the tenor saxophone, which I truly appreciate. I think it's just great, and it's great getting to meet you for the first time, face to face, even virtually. We've been doing all of our correspondence, Facebook and email. So,
Right, right.
yeah, this is great.
It's yeah, it's a great pleasure, and thank you very much for choosing my work to be added to your album. Of course, for me that was also a great opportunity because I arranged a piece from alto saxophone to tenor saxophone, and we can talk about that a little bit on the process and how it went and everything else. So basically, that was a great opportunity for me too.
Yes, well, I guess we could start off by just talking about how we initially met. Do you want to kind of tell your side of that story?
Sure. I received an email from IFCA, from Iranian Female Composers Association, which I am a member of. And in that email, it was mentioned that you are seeking for new works for unaccompanied tenor saxophone or tenor saxophone and piano and tenor saxophone and electronics. And so I was thinking that okay, I have a work for alto saxophone. Maybe I can reach out and see if you are interested to have a version for tenor saxophone. So I sent you the work, and you replied back that you are interested to have a tenor saxophone version. So I worked on the version, and during the process, it was very good that I had the opportunity to work with you on some of the concerns and comments on questions that I had on how to make the tenor saxophone the best version of the original work. And so I asked a lot of questions about the register and just how it can be the best version that fits your um, interests and skills. I'm sure that you're very capable of different techniques and registers, and you just explained everything to me. That was a great conversation that we had, and I learned a lot about tenor saxophone. So we had that process to work on a version of the tenor saxophone, a version for tenor saxophone, and so I sent you the final version, and you just liked it, and you started performing the piece in several places, not only considering that as part of your upcoming album Delta Waves, but also you performed it in several places, like in 5 series
Yeah, I performed it. It was at the
concert.
North American Saxophone Alliance Region 5, North
Exactly.
American Saxophone Alliance Region 7, and a couple others. My first year master's recital, it was the title of my recital, Vision.
Oh, uh-huh.
So, where else did I perform it? It might have just been those two different North American Saxophone Alliance. The 5 p.m. series, I also played it on. So, in an upcoming performance at the New Music Gathering as well with the
Right.
piece.
So that was another thing which was very interesting for me about our collaboration, that you are such active musician, and you just bring vision to so many places, and so that was very precious to me, and so I just wanted to mention that.
Well, thank you so
So
much. It was great getting to share it at all of those different festivals and conferences, all virtual, but it was great getting to record it and share it with everybody. And then,
yes.
no, I remember over at the beginning of COVID, there was the International Contemporary Ensemble had a full concert featuring the Iranian Female Composers Association's
Mm-hmm.
music, and I absolutely loved the concert. I thought it was just fantastic. So I tried to find a way to reach out to the organization to see if there were any tenor saxophone pieces, because everything that I had heard on that concert was just phenomenal. And I was super excited that you reached out. A couple other composers reached out, and I think some truly fantastic pieces came out of that. And I'm super
Great.
happy to be including this piece on the album.
Thank you very much, Drew. It's very exciting. I can't wait.
Yes, I'm very excited too. I can't wait to be able to finally get Delta Waves out there. I think this has been a project that I've wanted to do for many years now, and now at University of Michigan, I finally have the resources to make everything happen.
Right. And by the way, this is a pretty name, and this is already very musical.
Well, thank you. It's I think it'll be a very fun experience, and I really hope that it really sheds some light for the tenor saxophone and all of these very great pieces. Everything on the album's so different. But you mentioned that this is actually an arrangement. Can you talk about the various versions of the piece and how it was arranging it for tenor?
I would love to. So the original work is for alto saxophone, and the story behind that work is very nice to me, because that work was part of a series of work that I did around 2015 to 2017, and that was a series of works for solo instruments, vision for alto saxophone. I mean, the original work of this work, and then Disputation for solo oboe, Fusion for solo flute, Insomnia for solo cello, The Midnight for solo piano, another work for solo violin, Dream, Illusion, Reality. So that was part of a series of works for solo instruments around that time. And that was part of my experiments and exploration of solo instruments as a composer. And I think this is a very important experience for every composer to have during the career. And that was very helpful to me to have the opportunity to learn individual instruments in a deep level, and just be able to explore the tones and techniques, and just add my compositional strategies and techniques to the specific techniques and tones of individual instruments, and just kind of trying to combine what is good and convenient for musicians of different instruments and my own compositional style. So yeah, I composed that piece during that time, and that was part of an upcoming concert that we had at the time. And we had plans to have Dr. Athanasios Zervas come to our school and perform a solo recital of saxophone works. So that was the first place that I thought that, okay, I need to compose a work. So with that in mind, I composed this specific piece with the perspective of that piece being performed by Dr. Zervas, who is professor of music at University of Macedonia, and who is a wonderful human being. He's been my great mentor over the years. And so that was the first time that I met Dr. Zervas, and he performed the piece in 2017 at LSU, Louisiana State University. And this piece is also very important to me, because when Dr. Zervas performed it in 2017, he I think a few weeks ago, after he left, and I think he went to Greece at the time, he emailed me and he gave me my very first commission after the performance of the work. So so when I think about the work and its story behind that, I immediately remember Dr. Zervas and my first commission, which came up after the work. So yeah, and then we ended up having a tenor saxophone version, and here's the story.
Yes, well, that's fantastic to hear, and I'm truly honored and just happy that you arranged this version for me to perform. I absolutely love this version. The alto version is also fantastic. There's a very good recording, I believe, from the premiere on your website and on YouTube.
Yes, yeah, and it was performed later also by some other people, including my friend, Dr. Taylor Assad,
Mm-hmm.
and in some other places. So, alto saxophone version kind of had his way already,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like kind of and the piece was in my archive and just sitting there, and
Mm-hmm.
until you reached out and asked about the tenor saxophone version, and I thought, okay, I think this piece needs a new outfit.
Yes,
And
yes.
so this is how it went. So mhm.
Yes, and I believe it works so well on tenor. You would never know that it was arranged from a different version. I think it plays very nicely on the instrument, and it's
Yeah. Hmm.
and I love how it sounds on tenor. I may be a bit biased liking tenor, but
No, you performed it very nicely, and I like it on tenor too. So yeah.
well, thank you so much. I truly enjoy performing the piece, and I'm super excited for upcoming performances, the upcoming
Hmm.
recording, and everything else. Um,
Right.
so, is there anything else you want to share about the piece, about our collaboration, or anything else? Do you think people would be
Um.
interested in hearing?
mm, Well, no, just a little bit about a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's interesting for audience to know that it's in three sections: and expressive, lyrical, and peaceful. Something that I try to do in the piece is kind of a manifestation of tones and techniques of the saxophone, and particularly showcasing the very wide range of registral areas that saxophone can
Mm-hmm.
do. I'm sure that it's kind of a challenge for the performer, and I'm sorry for that, but but
It's totally worth the challenge.
thank you. So yeah, that was I mentioned that in the program notes, and that was one of the targets that I showcased the different registral areas, and then also I try to have meaningful sequences of thematic ideas. So sometimes I have patterns that are repeated a couple of times, and then each time it goes somewhere, and then
Mm-hmm.
next time it goes another place to another place, and then so it's kind of um, uh, from the compositional perspective, it's a kind of the matter of balancing the sequences, the
Mm-hmm.
patterns, the themes, and just the musical elements. And just I also try to have constant variations in dynamic and tempo, and
Mm-hmm.
just to make the piece alive at all times, and just tell the audience that okay, we have more.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that was interesting that I tried to do was to have the musical ideas all over the place. I mean, the same musical ideas
Mm-hmm.
in different shapes, in different
Mm-hmm.
appearances throughout the piece, which I think was one of my targets when I first composed the work. So here are some of my thoughts about the piece that I think I would share.
Yes, no, I think that's very interesting, and it's something that I think comes across very well in the music. You hear these similar thematic ideas, and you hear repeating ideas, but there's always something new. There's always something to keep the audience engaged. It's always moving
Right.
forward. I think
Right.
you saying that the piece is alive is a very, very, very good way
Okay.
to
Mhm.
mention. Really, just to talk about the piece in general, because I think there's always something new, and it's kind of an ever transforming piece, and I
Right.
think, and I
Thank
absolutely
you.
love the piece.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Drew. It's been a great pleasure working with you.
Yes, and huge thank you for sitting here and chatting with me today. And
Sure.
thank you all so much for watching. Is there anything you would like to plug, or where can people find you?
Yeah. No, we're good. I Please check out my website to find more about me and my musical activities. And just I have a lot of my more works there. On my website, on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on I have a Facebook page, so you can find me everywhere all over the places.
And all of those will be linked down in the description, so you can find all of Niloufar's various social media platforms.
Yeah.
So again, thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in learning more about Delta Waves and previous performances, upcoming performances, and if you want to watch some more interviews I'm doing with composers, please go to andrewhostler.com/Delta Waves, and you can find all of that information there. And thank you again.
Thank you.